Hi my friends, good morning. Now we are back at Marina Bay Sands. We couldn't find one that's better view than this. So by the way, what I'm going to talk to you today is about cash flow problems. How a business can have cash flow problems. There are basically many others but they are more of the secondary. But the main ones that I want to talk about is the very first one is low profit, or there's no profit at all. Every business have to make positive profit. It's only from the profit from the accounts receivable that you can able to make it into cash, so that then you can use the cash to do what you want. So the very first thing is that you still have to have profit, even though profit is not equal to cash, but you still have to have profit. But when you have low profit, when the time that you pay out all your expenses, you will have no more remainder. So your EBIT is basically zero, or even you make a loss. So this is also a very important cause of cash flow problem. The second one is that you overtrade. That means you have too much business. You have business coming in, and then one order after another, and you need to churn out the job. But do not forget, when churning out the job, you need to buy materials. You got to pay overtime. You got to pay a lot of staff. You might even employ extra staff. Then you got to pay more electricity. Maybe you got to have a bigger office. So all these are all cash. But the fact is, the job is still in work in progress. So you have not even finished the job. So you cannot collect any money. But your cash is depleting. You might even realize that you need to go to the bank to borrow your cash as working capital to keep the office or keep the factory going. So what happens if there's a sudden drawback or sudden recession? People say, oh, I'm going to cancel my order. You're going to have a big problem. Because why? Your cash is over expended. So this is what we call over trading. So number three, what do you think number three might be? Let me tell you, it's a seasonal demand. What is seasonal demand? Seasonal demand, let's say we take, for us here in Singapore, we are in the topic, and we love one fruit called king of the fruits, durian. But the fact is that if you are a durian seller and you retail durian doesn't have it all the year round, even though nowadays we do see durian all around the year. But the fact is that sometimes you have seasons. So there will be time that you sell a lot of durians, and there will be a few months that you won't be selling a lot of durians. Right? So this is called the seasonal demand. So during this time, you must have cash to keep your workers, you got to pay your rent, you got to pay electricity bill. So if you are not prepared and you don't have cash, then you might find yourself in a big problem. And then you need to go to the bank to borrow. If the bank wants to borrow, wants to lend it to you. But if it doesn't want to lend it to you, you are dead, my friend. So what's the next one? The next one is unexpected events. Unexpected events is that one of your suppliers suddenly one day they are in trouble. Then they say, hi Mok, I want my money back. I want it tomorrow. If not, then I'm going to get the lawyer to sue you. So these are just one of those unexpected events. Of course, the other unexpected events is that if you are not, managing the business well, and you are not thinking about the external environment, how the other people is going to affect you. So you might find that then suddenly, that your customers all disappeared, or your customers facing difficulty, they can't buy the high amount of sales from you. but you already have the type of overheads that you need to pay, you're going to have cash flow. Alright? So what about the fifth one? The fifth one is this one. It is a cash flow problem, but it is a cash flow problem that not necessary to be a cash flow problem. It is you forget or you delay collecting money. Why? Because you might have fear and say that, hey, if I'm going to collect money and keep on chasing people for money, people might not want to continue to do business with me. And this is real. This is very real. This happens to every businessman. So they accumulate. So they will give, orders. They will take in order worth $1 million, and then they only collect 200,000. Then after that, they get another order, another $1 million. So now they're doing $2 million job, but they collect 400,000. So this will keep on going, and then maybe one day they will realize that, hey, I'm not collecting money enough, so I have no cash. So that one will cause another cash flow problem, right? What's the last one? The last one is just as part of the above is too much stock. What is too much stock? Too much stock is too much inventory. You buy in and then you keep in your warehouse thinking that you can sell it, but the fact is that you stock more than you sell. But don't forget, you have to pay 3 months, but maybe you need to wait for 6 months or 8 months to sell it off. So all those are cash money that is stocked up, that you can't convert to cash. So you will also have cash problems. So just based on these 6, there are many more, okay, that I'm not going to go into too detail, because they also sometimes depending on the different types of industry, different type of businesses, the scale of the businesses. So, but however, these are the 6 ones that you can see, but any one of these will definitely cause cash flow problem, and if you don't manage it well, you might have to close down the business. So be careful, my friends. Okay, that's all for today. Have a good day. Bye bye. See you next time.